What's up, friends? My name is Chris. You're watching B-Boy 45, the Hospital Zone TV and radio station, broadcasting, of course, from the famed Seacrest Studios here at Children's Hospital, Colorado. And it is a Tuesday, and we are super happy to have a special edition of Maya's latest news. Of course, that is if Maya's still there. Maya, you there?
Yes. Hi.
Oh, my goodness, Maya. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, but I think you might be doing better because why?
Yeah. Because Jax is calling in.
We got Jax on Maya's show. How awesome is that? Jax, welcome. Maya, take it away, girl.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for calling in. I've been so excited to talk with you.
Thank you for having me. I've been so excited too. I know we've gone back and forth about finding the right time, and I'm so happy that we got it before Thanksgiving, and I'm a big fan of your show.
Oh, thank you. I'm a huge fan of yours. So
oh, stop it. Maybe we should start a band.
Yeah. So my first question for you is, when did you first discover your love of music?
I discovered my love for music back when I was probably 4 or 5 years old. I loved musical theater. So I like to be on stage. I like to be in like plays and stuff. But I also loved rock and roll, and I also loved the Beatles. And a lot of my parents used to play me a lot of girl power music. So like Joan Jett, Janis Joplin, Pat Benatar. We would listen to all the like female rockers along with like songwriters like Billy Joel. So it'd be like a huge chaotic thing in the backseat of my parents' minivan where it was just Wicked and Broadway musical soundtracks and rock and roll. So I started loving music at that point. I was like, I don't know what exactly I want to do, but this sounds like all of it.
Oh, that's so cool. So what has been the biggest lesson you've learned from the overwhelming success of your song, Victoria's Secret?
Ooh, first of all, thank you. And I think that's a great question. The biggest lesson I think I've learned, I would say, is that the first time I was ever myself was like probably over the course of the last 2 years. And I was never comfortable about talking about something as vulnerable as Victoria's Secret, even though it sounds kind of fun and goofy. It's like a pretty sensitive subject for me personally. So I think a lesson I learned is that in vulnerability and in authenticity, like comes success and comes like people connecting with you and also having similar stories. So it's good to take your guard down and share your pain and your truth. And the second lesson I learned is that like when I talk about things that are hard for me to talk about, it turns out like a bunch of people all over the world experience similar things. So it actually kind of serves as more therapy than I thought. So singing about things that maybe are out of your comfort zone or writing about them or creating things out of your comfort zone actually could bring you, I think, a lot of community. So.
Oh, I love that. So how have your various experiences, your health scare, your babysitting job, just to name a few, how have they influenced your songwriting?
I think every single thing I do every day influences my songwriting. People always ask me like, how does it start? Like when you walk in the studio, where do you start? And a lot of people start with a beat and a lot of people start with chords. But most of the time I personally start with a word or a concept that had inspired me in my everyday life. So right now we may be talking and you may say a word where I'm like, oh, ding, ding, let me write that down for later. And I think I have a concept for that. And I start with a lot of concepts and I like to tell stories. So every little chapter of my life, somehow I was able to pull from bits and pieces from it and write music.
Oh, cool. I love that. So who have been your biggest inspirations or influences in your career?
I love that question too. My inspirations have to be like my mom and dad, right? Because they took a lot of risks on me and I lived a not so normal lifestyle trying to be a musician and a songwriter. So They even let me be like homeschooled at a certain point when I was in a van on the road trying to gig out. So my inspiration's got to be my parents, and they stayed my number one fans forever. And I'm very, very fortunate that I have that. And my influences, I love Julia Michaels. I think she's like one of the greatest songwriters. I love BB Rexa. She's an amazing songwriter. Ed Sheeran, Billy Joel, Janis Joplin, Joan Jett, and maybe a little bit Hayley Williams, Paramore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's like a girl crush forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, do you ever get performance anxiety? And if so, how do you move past it?
The awesome question. I think, and it's funny, I have a lot of friends who perform and they all seem to have different types of performance anxiety. I am fortunate enough that like my anxiety is not stage fright. I actually feel slightly more comfortable on a stage talking to like a group of people as opposed to like one-on-one social awkwardness of like talking. Not that this is awkward, but like in general, when I go out, I feel a little more comfortable with a microphone on stage with my band. But I think the anxiety a lot of the times comes from how people respond to the music. So a lot of the times I play songs for the first time, and it's like the first time I'm playing it for a group of people. And, you know, if they don't like it, sometimes your heart breaks, and it like causes a lot of imposter syndrome and depression afterwards, being like, oh my gosh, I thought that was the most amazing song, but the crowd was like, eh. So I get stressed out if they're going to like me or not, I think more so. But yeah, I have anxiety definitely backstage when things start to get overwhelming. I've gone through a lot with my voice and some nodules on my vocal cords. So I have to really, really pay attention to how I'm singing. And yeah, the way I get over it and right before a show is I say a little prayer and I put on my headphones. I do my vocal warm-ups. So I get right into student mode. And then I listen to some of my favorite Paramore songs on full blast to get me all pumped up. Sometimes I'll do push-ups. Bad ones.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So what has been your best performance experience so far?
Whoa. Oh man. I mean, honestly, I feel like they just keep topping themselves. Like, a funny one was that I had like played a benefit for 9/11 families. It was during a hurricane and the venue was on the water, like in New York. And the hurricane warning like happened in the middle of my song. So I looked down and all of a sudden it's like everybody's trying to swim out of the audience.
Oh.
There was like water up to everybody's knees and they were all like, yeah. But yeah, that was the funniest performance experience I've ever had.
Bless you.
Thank you. I wonder if anyone watching this said bless you.
Yeah.
A lot of people say my sneeze doesn't match my personality. It's like,
well, I feel like that's a lot of people. Their sneeze doesn't match.
I know. You ever hear like you see like a girl that's like very like pixie like, and all of a sudden she sneezes. It's like a
yeah.
Rest in peace to the headphones users.
Yeah, my mom is always, whenever she sneezes, it's very loud. And,
yeah. Oh wait,
like
my mom too.
Oh really?
My mom, when she sneezes, it's actually so scary. She has to sneeze at least 10 times.
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden, I'll just be sitting there going, I think her record was like 16 times in a row. We're like, what the heck?
Oh, wow.
We're like, you should get that checked out.
Yeah. There are a lot of times that like my mom's sneeze will scare both me and my sister. We'll all just be sitting there like watching a movie, and then she sneezes and we all jump.
That's like her secret weapon. Her jump scare.
Yeah.
That's so great. I love that.
um, so, has there been a performance that has been the most challenging?
Oh wow, yeah. Actually recently a really challenging performance because I was very, very sick, some sort of virus, and it was like 8,000 people. And I had a very bad cough and I could not stop coughing every 10 seconds. I was so stressed that in the middle of the song, I was just going to have one of those nonstop, uncontrollable coughing fits. So this was like literally less than 2 weeks ago, in Colorado.
Oh,
And I was so stressed out because the second you get out there, it's so cold and the altitude is so weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, of course, like the one show I have to do when I have a virus and there's 8,000 people waiting, I like it's freezing cold and like with weird breathing problems. So I like went on stage and I was like, all right, deep breaths, meditate, you got this. And that was hard because cold air is like really hard, I think, for singers. So I was like, don't cough, don't cough.
Yeah. So is there a line of dialogue or a line from a song or book that has always stuck with you?
In my own songs or other people's songs?
And other people's songs.
Yeah, totally. I have a tattoo of a Billy Joel song that I love. It's called And So It Goes. And it's basically about how like every heartbreak like is a part of the journey and it just life will just keep going on. And I have a lyric on my neck that says sail on silver girl, sail on by, and it's like one of my favorite lyrics ever. Just because it made me feel like a rock star when I listened to it. I felt like I was Silver Girl. It's a song by Simon and Garfunkel. And I know I sound like an old lady right now, but
I love that. Yeah, Billy Joel is he's one of my mom's favorite singers. And so my sister and I grew up listening to him. And so he's one of our favorites too.
I like your family. I feel like we get along very well.
Yeah.
I feel like me and your mom would be probably best friends. And yeah, let me know if you guys ever are doing like a family dinner in Colorado and need some live music. I could play some Billy Joel in the background of your holiday dinners.
We will. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll reach out. So what do you do to motivate yourself when you're having a bad day?
That one I haven't really sorted out yet. I like naps. I think sometimes a good power nap, even if it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, if I can get close my eyes and refresh. I I sometimes need I'm like a phone. I just need to be like turned off and back on again. That, and I like coffee. And,
yeah.
I think, when I'm having a bad day, a lot of times I like to do yoga. I like to start my day with yoga. So it gets me in like a rhythm of deep breaths and stretching and control. And I like to write lists. So like sometimes it just really helps to write a list out of the things you need to do and get done and then start checking them off to get in a routine.
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity to put a message on a billboard that would be seen by everyone, what would that message be?
Oh, that would be seen by everyone ever? No pressure. That's only like the most important billboard of all time. Oh, God. I think I would say do unto others. The golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. That would be a nice sign in traffic because you ever realize like you see a billboard in traffic, it's like, hey, like do unto others, treat others the way you want to be treated, right? Yeah. And I yell a lot at people in traffic. So, and I hate when people yell at me. So maybe I'll stop yelling at people. I have New York road rage. So You don't want to see that. It's not a pretty side of me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remind me never to be judging.
No. Even sometimes my boyfriend's like, you're scary. It's like, this is weird. Who are you?
Yeah.
Jax, you in there?
My mom, she just always makes up words.
Yeah.
So it's always when she's frustrated, she just uses a word she's made up. And
You need to write those down.
yeah.
You need to write her made up words down. Because
Yeah.
one day you'll have like a list of 100 words and you'll be like, this is the bad word dictionary that my mom
Yeah.
made. That would be a really cute Christmas gift. In like 10 years, just be like, look, I was documenting everything. Like, here's your own personal dictionary of bad words that you made up. And then like each one be like a scenario. Be like, oh, this is the one that you say when you're beeping somebody. This is the one that you say when someone cuts you in line. This is the one that you say when you stub your toe. Like,
Yeah.
that's genius.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really smart idea.
Oh, I was
So
saying it's
thank
genius
you.
that she makes up her own words. That's freaking cool. Tell her I like her. I feel like your mom should have been here in this interview.
I know. I feel like if she wasn't in a meeting right now, I would go down and tell her
No.
to come up. But
Don't tell her. We love a hardworking CEO boss mom. Leave her in a meeting. Yeah.
yeah, no, I was just saying if she wasn't doing that, I would bring her up.
Okay.
So
Tell her I say hello.
I will.
And everyone watching, say hi, Maya's mom. Hi, Maya's mom.
So I just have two more quick questions for
Hit
you.
me.
So what topic could you give a TED Talk on that you're totally unqualified to give one on?
What topic could I give a TED Talk on that I'm totally unqualified to give, right? Okay, so this is nothing related to music or anything. Oh, wow. I would say I could give a TED Talk on how to be an internet creep. Like, I could literally know how to, like, I think if I wasn't a singer, I'd be a private investigator. So I can give a full TED Talk on like how to internet stalk people. Oh my God, that's so creepy.
Yeah.
Would you be weirded out if I knew all your cousins' names right now?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I never even told my boyfriend I knew all that before I met him. Well, not before I met him. Sorry, that sounds really creepy. Before we went on our first date. Oh God. So I'm just, calling myself out. He's gonna watch this and be like, what the heck is this? All this whole last 6 years is a lie. She's creepy.
Yeah. But I think I'd take that class just because I think or listen to that talk because I just think it would be entertaining to
Look,
hear.
I think you'd learn a lot.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wow, this girl has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Who hurt her?
Yeah, I'd just be like, maybe she needs to just take some time.
Yeah. Take a nap.
So my last question for you is, who do you consider to be a real life superhero and why?
Oh my goodness. This one is an easy one. My dad he's almost annoyingly a real life superhero. You know, those type of people.
Yeah.
Like one time, one of our friends, like an acquaintance was like, oh my gosh, like I need a kidney, but like I'm way older and way down on the list. My dad was like, hey, you should just take my kidney, and just gave the guy a kidney. Like, he's just like the kind of guy that stops in the middle of the road, no questions asked. He sees like an old lady crossing the street or trying to get into her car. He'll just like run up to her, almost borderline, like, dude, back up. And my dad was at first he was a police officer, and then he moved to the fire department way back in New York. So he was a first responder during the 9/11 attacks. And after that, he was injured on the job that day and the next 2 weeks for the cleanup. So he decided to, when they made him retire because of the injuries, he decided to take on being my number one fan and trying to help me pursue my career in music. And he is just like literally he checks every hero box there is. So I think my dad's got to be a superhero. What about you?
Love that. Definitely my mom and my sister, and they're my superheroes and my best friends. And then I also have to say Ryan Seacrest is my other superhero.
Shout out to Ryan Seacrest. You're my superhero too. And so is Maya's mom.
I'll tell her you said that.
Oh my goodness. That's so sweet. I love her. Tell her I want to hang out with her one day and we're going to listen to Billy Joel.
Oh, I will. Yeah, she would love that.
Oh my goodness, so cute.
We have all my own family and we listen to your music like in the car, and so like
really,
like Victoria's Secret and To All the Boys I've loved before. We listen to your music all the time.
I appreciate. Should we do a little, since she's not here and she can watch it back, should we do a little chorus of Victoria's Secret for your mom?
Oh, I would love that.
Okay, I have it. I'm conveniently, but welcome to my TikTok room, you guys. And I'll do a little chorus. And what's your mom's name?
Sheila. This one goes out to my girl, Sheila. This is a song called Victoria's Secret. Let's do a little like the beginning of it. How about? Yeah. God, I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger that all bodies aren't the same. Photoshop itty bitty models on magazine covers told me I was overweight. I stopped eating, what a bummer. Can't have carbs in a hot girl summer. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, hey Sheila, I know Victoria's Secret, and girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in the North Pole, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on party issues, selling skin and bones. I know Victoria's Secret, she was never made for me and you. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Maya, and Seacrest Studios and Colorado fam and Sheila. Thank you so much for calling in. I've had so much fun talking with you.
You too. And your interview questions were way more interesting than any interviews I did all week. So props to you.
Thank you.
Jax, we hope we get to see you in person here in Colorado. Thanks for being with us today.
Please. Bye, you guys.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye.